That's a nice
That's the right one right there. Good work, Derek.
Told me about Derek, and I'd certainly seen his art. First time we got to meet him, he came down here to Hawks Cay, and we met him and took him out for a little tarpon fishing. And he, as we were talking to him that whole time, he kept telling me his favorite thing to do was barracuda fishing.
Yeah.
And I'd seen his art with the barracudas, and you know, and I love barracuda fishing. And so it was super cool to finally get the opportunity here this winter and go down there and meet him in his house in Big Pond. Oh, look at him! That's a good one there.
That's the fish of the day right there so far.
Yeah! Come on, come on! Oh! He ate it! He ate it! He ate it! Nice, baby! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about! I thought you said you had
I got him, relax.
Oh! Dude, he just ripped my boat off! Oh! Awesome! Look at that big boy! Woo!
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
I love marine art. It's really pretty cool, and my son is an artist, and so I've kind of been like looking at all this different stuff, like what he does and what all these different artists do. And there's one particular guy, and this guy's name's Derek DeYoung. I've really liked his stuff. I just thought it was really good, and he's kind of similar to me, that he spent a lot of time out in Montana, he spent a lot of time down in the Keys, and he has caught a lot of different kinds of fish, and he's not like just like a saltwater artist or just a trout artist. And you know, I've seen his stuff and I've never been able to meet the guy. So I just reached out to him and I said, hey man, I love your stuff, and I understand that you spend a lot of time in Big Pine. Wonder if you might want to go fishing sometime. And man, I get a phone call right away. He's like, oh yeah, man, that'd be great. And right away, just talking to this guy on the phone, I'm like, man, we're gonna have a great time. That guy is so cool, like just like a fishing buddy.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know, told me about Derek, and I'd certainly seen his art. And you know, first time we got to meet him, he came down here to Hawks Cay, and we met him and took him out for a little tarpon fishing. Just had a great time. You know, really enjoyed him. We had you know, kind of a slow day, but we did catch a nice tarpon there right at dark down here at the Long Key Bridge. And he, as we were talking to him that whole time, he kept telling me his favorite thing to do was barracuda fishing.
Yeah.
And I'd seen his art with the barracudas, and you know, and I love barracuda fishing.
Yeah, I do too.
But he just, you know, kept saying, man, you should come down in the winter and go barracuda fishing with me. He was telling me he likes to do it on the artificials, and so it was super cool to finally get the opportunity here this winter and go down there and meet him in his house in Big Pond.
Derek, what's up?
What's going on, boys?
How are you?
Not too bad, just getting some
Ready to roll?
CUDA gear ready.
All right.
Good to see you
all
again,
about the
Derek.
kudas.
Nice to see you, Rich.
Down in your neck of the woods this time.
Yeah, welcome to Big Pine.
I know, it's nice out here. We got a beautiful day. It's a little windy, but we'll make something happen, I'm sure.
I've seen a bunch of CUDAs out there, so
All right.
it's kind of windy, so we'll probably start with that, right?
That's great. Love it. I'm all about the CUDA.
Tying up some wire right now.
Okay, cool. So we're just gonna put in right at the
Yep, yeah,
ramp next
just
door?
the neighbor's ramp right around the corner.
Okay, well, let's
Take
grab
off
all
from-
your stuff and we'll roll out there.
Okay, cool.
You know, when you go to Derek's house, he's got paint everywhere and canvases everywhere, and you go up into his house and it's just covered with finished pieces and unfinished pieces and pieces he's working on. And the way that he does everything, you know, he doesn't just kind of like see a fish and go, oh, that's kind of cool. He studies that thing, man. He goes out there, he catches a ton of them in a ton of different situations. He studies every little detail about this fish, and then he brings that all into his art. It's really, really cool, man. I mean, it's just kind of fun to hang out with the guy. He's super creative and super into what he's into, and barracuda fishing happens to be one of the things that he's into.
You know, what I thought was interesting is just the attitude, you know, that's what we were going to do that day. It wasn't, you know, we always go down to the same areas in the Middle Keys and Big Pine and stuff like that, and we're fishing for tarpon, bonefish permit, and we just ignore barracudas, you know. But the goal was, you know, barracudas. That's what he wanted to target. I was excited about it. You were excited about it. And that was the goal for the day, is to go out there and catch these kudas. All right, you guys ready?
Ready? Well, I hope the water temperature is not reading properly. It says it's 49 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
That's back Michigan weather for you, right?
What does it say for? I will, I'll text you.
This is nice. You got your whole cheerleader squad.
No kidding.
Entourage.
you know, he's picking the spots, and you know, I'd fish these same spots and great spots, man. I mean, he's definitely on it. We go to, you know, an area where barracudas tend to like. It's kind of a lighter, hard bottom, you know, with turtle grass on the outskirts, and they like to get over this light bottom. It was a little bit windy. Barracudas also like to get in the lee, and this spot, the first spot that he took us to, had that.
You know, it's interesting listening to you and your buddies on the dock there. I mean, they are excited. I mean, this is a primary target for you guys, which is awesome.
You know, these cold, I guess Keys cold winter days shuts down a lot of the other fisheries, and we can come out and do this. And I mean, if this existed in freshwater, it would be the coolest thing I'd ever done in freshwater.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what's so crazy.
Fishing, right?
But I think way more fun. There's way more of these. They're huge. They're more aggressive.
We were able to hide behind the shoreline. We were able to go along an area that had an extended white bottom, and sure enough, man, they were in there.
Yeah, that was incredible stuff. That bottom was just beautiful, just light-colored bottom. You know, and you could just see those dark cudas sitting out there. I got up on the top of the tower there, and I looked out there, and I could spot a couple cudas way up in front of you. Throw at this one, and sure enough, I mean, Derek put a cast in there, and that thing just jumped out of the water to eat it. I was like, whoa, that one wants to play.
This kind of bottom right here, this is pretty nice.
There's a big one.
Get him, Derek.
You're right on him. Oh, yeah, Derek! He came for it. He's coming for it.
Oh, there he is right there. He's coming for it.
Dang, dude, he was excited. He's going left across the bow.
Oh, there he is.
He's still laying right there.
See him? Get him, Rich.
You're gonna come in front of him.
Where's he at, left or
11
right?
o'clock, going away. That's not bad. He's a little right of that. I'm gonna go for him. Oh my God! Are you kidding me? It hit the water and he just jumped on it. Dude, you're right. They're aggressive here.
Fun, fun.
He ain't messing
The
around.
fun's just beginning.
That's pretty good. Oh, look at him. That's a good one there.
That's the fish of the day right there so far.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay Resort. Find what lures you. Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder. B&W Trailer Hitches, towing adventure. Mercury Marine, go boldly. St. Croix Rods, the best rods on earth. Waypoint. And by Ameritrail. Daiwa. Marathon, Power Pole, and Vibe.
So, you know, we started the day from Hawks Cay, and Hawks Cay, as we always say, is perfectly located for the fishermen, because you can trailer down to the west, which is towards Key West, or up to the east towards Islamorada, up to the north towards Flamingo. And I got a brand new boat, really excited to get it out, throw it on the trailer, head down to Big Pine. Big Pine's a cool area because it's an area that has a unique species. They have the key deer, which is found only in Big Pine. And it's a deer that's about the size of a Labrador Retriever with a little rack, and very cool. You see them in people's backyards, you see them on the road. You don't want to go speeding through Big Pine. They have very strict laws because they don't want anyone to hit these key deer, because it's a species that's only found right here. Very cool. And Big Pine's a cool place. It suits Derek perfectly. You get back in one of those neighborhoods and everybody's, I mean, there's like a different feel back there.
Yeah, there
Everybody's
is.
laid back and just cool, just like Derek, man.
Oh, one just swung on mine. Oh, he's on. Oh,
There you go, Derek!
yeah, baby.
That's it, buddy.
That's a nice one.
Power pole down, watch yourself.
That's a nice one.
He swung on it a couple of times. I thought he was gone, and he made his way right back to me. He
Talk about a
ain't a
relaxing
huge
day,
one,
man.
but
Bring him right over here.
I got
I'll
you.
get him for you. Talk about a relaxing day, man. Just coming out here and doing this.
Relaxing. I'm not sure how you relax.
You're not relaxed?
I think this is kind of like adrenaline sport.
Well,
But
it's kind of.
Then again, you do 375 push-ups a day. I don't.
It's kind of relaxing because I don't know, there's just less tide, there's less...
I'm barbless there, so it should slide right out.
There's less, you know, like thinking that you have to go into it. He's got himself pinned closed.
He wanted that. That's kind of a cool de-hooker.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That one looks just like your painting, man.
I think my painting's a little prettier. This one's a little scarred up.
How can you be prettier than the real thing?
You just gotta kind of bring out the colors a bit.
And off he goes, man. Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's see if we can catch another one. I like how, you know, like that's one of the things that I like the most about your art is that you've obviously spent a lot of time on the water and you're getting these little details of the fish that like fishermen look at. You know, like the way the teeth, you know, you get some like crooked teeth in some and you get like, I don't know.
That's funny that you notice that because I think that's things that we as fishermen see, but in nature, seldom is everything perfect.
I know.
That's why, you know, if you make it all look perfect, it doesn't look real.
Right.
You know, definitely there was a pattern going on where the fish were stacked up the most was, you know, right on that shallow edge, very similar to where we'd find bonefish. You know, you're fishing right on that shallow edge where it went from about 8 inches of water and dropped down to about 2 feet. That seemed to be that zone where most of those kudas were just hanging right on that deeper edge. It seemed like the lee side shoreline was key. It seemed like a lot of the kudas, especially the big ones, hang on that edge where there was some white bottom and there was a little bit of dark, you know, where they blend in and kind of ambush sitting on that little edge.
Come on. Come on.
Woo! There you go. Nice.
Rattled it.
What a bite! Right at the boat.
That was a good bite.
Holy
Before
cow.
that, he stuck his...
You kind of teased him, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to. I wanted him to pound it. But he stuck his whole head out of the water and was looking for it. You know, I just like this so much because like this tackle is so light. Like this is a bonefish rod.
Right.
You're a northern guy. Like
Yeah, that'd be like
if
a
this was
walleye
a
rod.
northern pike or something, like what kind of tackle would you be using for a pike?
You know, for smaller, you know, rapalas and stuff, something like that. But if you're throwing great big spoons and stuff, we do use heavier gear than this, for sure.
I was looking at, you know, like what he was throwing. He had his certain plugs that were just, you know, it was like I say, like a musky fisherman with all these different plugs and all these different ones that he likes. But he had some that, you know, they would float, but once you pulled them, they would twitch right onto the surface of the water. I really like those. But you and him both had the routine down where you're taking the front treble hook off,
Yeah.
and only having a one treble hook in the back, and then putting on a little shot of wire, number 4, you know, 40-pound type wire, about a 1 foot shot of that, and whether it's a swivel or just tying it straight onto the leader, have about a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, and then we're using, you know, 10 or 15-pound braided line on the little Daiwa reels, and we could throw those things a mile.
So what's your process, man? Like when you catch a fish like this, and you're thinking about painting it, do you take pictures or do you just look at it? Or
I mean, I've got great pictures, but yeah, just looking at it, looking at the little hues on his back. I mean,
I always thought this was a cool
look
feature.
at the color there. That people would always think that was just kind of gray, but it's not.
Right.
Like blue.
It's a fast fish. He will go back and eat more.
Get big.
Yeah, that was fun.
You got.
Right on.
He missed it. You just kind of teased him into that bite.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can find another one. The thing I like about the Barracuda fishing too is even if you aren't catching all of them, it's still very visual, like just the follows that you're getting.
Yeah.
And there's no downtime because you're doing something the whole time. You're either casting as far as you can, or you're reeling as fast as you can, or you're setting the hook or fighting a fish. I mean, that's what it is all day long. And at the end of the day, you're pretty tired. And if you have a good day, you're gonna catch a lot of fish.
I mean, right there. I couldn't believe he did it.
There's a lot of fish in this little zone. Backside of this little flat.
Look how far he's gone.
I know.
When I had it
I'm
loose.
gonna make you deadboat him.
Deadboat him?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I'm not gonna chase after
You
you. I'm
gotta
gonna
bring
stay
him
right
to
here in
you.
the zone.
I've already got him back.
Okay, cool. Well,
That's a
not gonna be
nice one,
problem.
Derek.
Yeah, that's the
That's a good one
the
there.
fish of the day right there so far.
Oh, look at him. That's a whopper.
Whenever somebody fishes a spot a lot, they really start to get a really good idea where the fish are. And you know, maybe they're not here today, but they're usually here or whatever. But Derek called his shots a couple times. Like we got to one point and he's like, bet we catch a fish off that point right there. And he didn't say that 2 seconds. He throws right where he was hoping that there would be a fish. And sure enough, man, there was a really good one right there.
That's a nice
That's the
fish.
right one right there. Good work, Derek. Good work, Derek.
Geez, he's heavy.
Yeah, he's like some of those other ones that we had a good shot at but didn't get. Oh yeah, he's solid 15-pounder. Full size. Very nice.
That's a really nice one on a lure like that. Wow.
He put on a show eating right there by the boat.
Yes, sir.
Oh, baby.
That's nice.
Got some little bitty, let me get a grip on him before you do that. Hang on. Okay. Nice.
That thing popped out. That was barely in there.
That one right
How
there.
long would you
That's
say
what
he
we're
is,
looking for.
Derek?
He's got to be high 40s.
That's awesome.
Derek put us on him that day, and you know what was cool to me is like every single one that he would catch or we would catch or any of us would catch, he wanted to get right down there on that fish, and he'd be like, oh, look at that color right there, man. That's something you don't see a lot. You can see it, man. He's making mental pictures of like, how could I mix some paint to look just like that? Because that's the beauty of this fish, you know? And so that's what his art is all about, like these observations that he makes about different things about the fish, and like a broken tooth here, or, you know, a scar, or like sea lice, or the different way that they're spotted up in a unique pattern. And he brings all that stuff into his art, which I think is just really cool. I think that's one of the reasons why I appreciate his stuff so much.
See you, buddy.
All right, well, he had some other plans. He's ready to go.
He's out.
Now we just got to catch another one, just like that one. In my pursuit of trying to find a trolling motor battery system that I can run all day long on high, this year I've gone to 2 new products, the Lithium Pro batteries and the Power Pole charger, and I think I've got it worked out. One big reason for me moving to this new battery system is the weight. I can go from 3 batteries that are about 70 pounds apiece to a 38-pound battery. That's huge for me, but Joe here is going to tell me all the differences between the old batteries that I was using and the new Lithium Pros.
Well, Tom, this battery here is a single 36 volt. It replaces 3 group 31s. You're gonna have 5 times faster recharge, 100% use of this battery 100% of the time, and with your power pole system on this boat, you'll probably never use this battery up.
Well, I like all of that, and the power pole charger, the idea is that when I'm running, it's gonna route charge first to the crank battery, and then it's gonna overflow into my trolling motor batteries?
That is correct. It's gonna run your 12 volt starting and electronic batteries to full charge, and then it's gonna put substantial charge into that 36 volt with any amount of running on the water.
And then the other thing that's really cool about this whole system is that I can monitor, like a fuel gauge, I can monitor my battery percentage or how much charge I have on it while I'm out there on the water.
You can actively watch it live while you're running your boat or you're trolling the percentage of your battery with that Sea Monster app.
Right on. So way lighter weight, faster charging. You can go to lithiumpros.com and find out how to get yours.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Hook. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Buff, built for ultimate sun protection. And by Motor Guide. Nikon. Wiley X. Lithium Pros. And Bernowin Rod Holders.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the show. You know, we'd like to get to know you better, carry on the conversation, and the best way to do that is follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Derek's from Michigan, and I think he spent a lot of the time, you know, with the pike and the muskies and things like that, and you know, that northern fishing. And you could tell that some of that same casting techniques, mentality, you know, I know he's a good all-around angler, but man, he was really covering some ground. You could tell he was just at home covering water. You know, it was educational to watch him and how he was fishing.
He's a good angler, man. I mean, when he's not catching barracudas, he's up north catching smallmouth bass and walleye and lake trout and big trout, and then he's, you know, out west, goes to Montana and fly fishes, and he's an all-around angler. What I like about him is that nothing's below him. He's all about any kind of fishing, and you know, that's kind of fit right in with us. It's like fishing with an old buddy.
There he is.
Yes. That's a good one.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, look at him go. Just as you said, Derek, right on that point.
You sniped him.
You called that though. You said they're always on that point.
You're gonna have to get down and land this one, Rich.
Yeah, I'll get down and land it. Why not? Sure is nice up there though, you can see everything. Oh yes.
Full size? Oh, that's a nice one.
Not a bad one.
We managed to catch a bunch of fish at the first spot, get lots of follows, having lots of fun, and you know, it's kind of like, wow, that was really awesome. We could just go back and do this again, which was a thought. Like, we got so many follows that didn't bite. It would be pretty easy just to roll back around and do this again, and we know we're gonna catch fish. There's always that kind of thing. Do you leave fish to find fish? But the confidence was pretty high. The conditions were good, and Derek's like, man, let's go find another spot. Let's go do something different. And so what I kind of thought what he was doing is like, he knew where some big ones were. And that's what we did. We went in search of the big one.
So is this where the big hog daddies live?
The hog daddy.
There's usually a couple.
It looks like a big hog daddy spot.